What a wonderful thing to be live, I'll tell you what. Welcome, if anybody's in here already. I kind of doubt it being that I just started 10 seconds ago. uh, but yeah, so tonight we are going to talk about what the description said. Uh, Remembering those people that were fallen in 9/11 and those that, uh, just honor those people and then talk about me myself being um, a firefighter and an EMT for a very short period of time and just kind of what I saw during that. But we're not going to get into that quite yet because we're going to let a few more people hop in. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work. This is really tight. Kind of cuts off my blood circulation here. Hopefully, you guys can still hear me because that's not happening. It's a little bit too much. Let me fix this technical difficulty real fast. Sorry, because that's too much. How do we sound, Natalie? We're still good. Can you hear me? Low, 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 low. Cool. Yeah, I could barely breathe. I was starting to run out of air, and I don't think going live and killing myself is a really good idea. So we're not going to do that. But I'll before I get into talking about what I want to touch on tonight, I just want to kind of open this up to Q&A as I talk. If you have a question, feel free and fire it at me, and I'll answer it the best that I can. But yeah, like I said, we'll kind of just elaborate on some other stuff, let some people hop on, and yeah. So I was in Maryland over the weekend, and I got a sunburn on my chest, on my back, and on my shoulders. So if you thought that you didn't get a sunburn when it was 75 degrees out, like I did, well, you were wrong. You were very wrong, actually. I was very wrong, as you could. Well, you can't tell, but if you could, you just take my word for it. Um, doesn't feel great, so I wouldn't try it. So yeah, we went to Maryland, got Ocean City, got into the ocean, and enjoyed that. Walked on the boardwalk, enjoyed my sunburn. I don't think I've ever tossed and turned as much as I did that night when I had a sunburn. That was really bad. It was like I couldn't get comfortable because there was no way to get comfortable. Any way you turn, there's a sunburn. It was enjoyable. So yeah, that was that. Um, Went and bought too much Laffy Taffy, saltwater taffy. I got too much of that. Bought like pound and a half of fudge. Don't need it, but am I gonna eat it? Heck yeah. um, and so yeah, yeah, that was basically just what I did over the weekend. Yeah, had some food, rode some goat carts. Uh, Nevin, my stepbrother, got 36 seconds for a lap, and I got 38 seconds. I wasn't. I was trying to get it lower than that, but it didn't happen. I was too worried about flipping my go kart because every time I would take a turn, it would feel like I was gonna flip the cart, and I'm like, I have stuff that I have to do outside of here that pertains to life in general. I don't think I need to beat my time that bad. But yeah, so we went to Maryland. Um, Good time, good time. But yeah, I'm gonna hop into it now. Um, yeah, 9/11 is very very trying to decide what I want to say. everybody knows about it because it was a very tragic accident or incident. Um, and I mean, just the things that happened during that time, those few hours, how many people like decided to do things that they would never do, like jump out windows and those type of things just to get away from the heat from the airplanes, and how many people that were a part of the fire company and the EMT and the police that gave their lives to try to save other people. Um, if you're on here and you have a family member or a friend that passed away due to 9/11, my heart goes out to you. It's not something that is sad. It is sad. It's not. It is. It is very sad. But as we move forward in today and try to continue to be better, um, I think just remembering people, um, the fallen, fallen like people that went into the building to save others, and then just the people that were on the planes that didn't make it off the plane. Didn't expect that type of a landing, I'm sure. And so yeah, very very sad, very sad. Um, yeah, I don't really have too much to elaborate on 9/11 part, but I was just kind of talking about that to lead into when I was an EMT slash firefighter, um, and just that period of time that I spent, which was not very long. I think maybe half a year, probably a little bit less than half a year. Um, saw some pretty crazy things, as you would think. Uh, saw a couple people's houses on fire. Um, saw some pretty bad accidents, and yeah, there was uh, there was a couple of times that it was crazy. There was a guy that was like high, and he basically overdosed and like wasn't doing so hot. And we took him to the hospital, and he's like, "No, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to go to the hospital." Well, we took him anyway. Um, we got him into the hospital room, and like I think my paramedic that I was with working that day was like, "We got to take this chain off. Like, the doctors are gonna have to work on you, and the chain's just gonna get in the way." And as soon as my paramedic tried to touch the chain, the guy like swung at him. He didn't make contact, but it was very close. And if he would have, it probably would have knocked back the paramedic or knocked him out, because the swing, even though he was like on the verge of death, was a pretty good swing. um, so that was one of them. We responded to a possible like motor vehicle accident. It wasn't a motor vehicle accident. It was someone that fell down a hill in their car going probably a pretty too fast speed. The top of her car was gone. And the like the lady was just, she was still in the driver's seat but very lifeless. I'm trying to keep this in a not gory for YouTube, and also just not too much for other people that don't know how to handle that. um, so yeah, the way we saw that is fun. Not fun. It wasn't. But yeah, I think that was the first incident that I cried, because I've never seen anybody like that before. Plus, that was the first incident that I felt helpless. Like I couldn't do anything to save the person. So that was kind of what I was dealing with on that day. Going forward, there was a couple other ones. They suicide. It was potential suicide. There was nothing potential about the suicide. It was just suicide. Uh, the guy decided that he was ready to be done with life and kind of yeah. So I won't really elaborate on that one, but it wasn't a possible suicide. It was just suicide, um, and it was bad. That was probably the worst one that I've ever seen, like up close, because I was within like feet of him. It was kind of scary though because like we put on this equipment that just to make sure that he wasn't with us anymore, and when we did that, his body like jumped. So it was like, okay, is this guy dead or what are we dealing with here? Like, what is this? It's apparently as I asked the paramedic and the EMT afterwards, they had said that for a very short period of time, your brain still responds to like any type of touch. So when we would like put the equipment on him, his brain would be delayed, but it would still react as if you would if you were like scared or something. And he just jumped, like his whole body just was like, um, so that one was interesting. Um, Trying to think of another one. Um, we got called to so many false like accidents where it was like you hit the back of somebody's bumper, like get your insurance involved. We got better things to do today than you're good, cool. But like outside of that, we don't have time for this. If you're not injured, like lifeless, uh, call the police and say, hey, like I just whatever happened. But like if your health wise is fine, we don't need the extra people there. That was a waste of time because there was other incidents that we probably could have been responding to, but we weren't because your little fender bender was the life of someone else. The world was ending, quite frankly. Um, so yeah, that was another one. We trying to think of any more that I saw. It was mainly just fires and car accidents and stuff like that. There wasn't very many attempted suicides or like suicides that I responded to. Um, so that type of stuff I didn't really see that much. Um, but yeah, that was it taught me how to see the world in a different light. It showed me that I should care about the people that are close to me a lot more than I did, and make sure that they're okay because you never know when someone's in a bad headspace or just not very present with life and they're just depressed and stuff like that. Reach out to people that you care about because you never know. But yeah, I mean, just wanted to kind of get on here and talk about that. Um, I mean, I think I decided with the lives, I'm gonna kind of steer them to what I want to talk about, where like I'm kind of interviewing myself and just telling you guys more about myself. And when I do podcast, I'll like talk about the people that are on the podcast. But yeah, I mean, with that, my editor slash video guy is stepping away because he's got a lot of things going on. He's getting married, and then he's got a short film that he's working on, which isn't really a short film anymore. I think we're past the short film; it's just a film. Go check that out. Check out Kitchen Blender. Um, yeah, and then I think they're wrapping that stuff up here shortly. They should be done within the next year or two. But yeah, yeah. I think that's it. I don't really have anything else that I want to share on tonight. So if there's no questions, I think we'll just end live for tonight. Unless Jake has a question. Jake, do you have a question?
What's a safer investment, cryptocurrency or stocks? It's just a personal thing. Like, what do you prefer?
That was a lot of words that I didn't understand. I was about to give you the microphone to just be like, here.
You're like, wait, is that for you?
you can talk and I'll just sit here and listen.
This sounds like a trick question.
But yeah. Yeah, I think we're done for tonight. So peace out, everybody. I'll let my sister end the live here.